And we can see here in this graphic the relationship. Here we've got at the top, we've got the Industry Steering Committee, and their role is to develop the Policy and Procedures Handbook. This is the rules by which the process of analysing the effective maintenance is performed. Remembering, of course, that these guys are going to be together for some years. So this is not a lightly loaded task. It's a considerable undertaking. Then we've got the Maintenance Review Board. These guys are working within the requirements of the Policy and the Procedures Handbook. And we've got here the Maintenance Working Group. And the Maintenance Working Group splits into a number of subgroups depending on their speciality and particular areas of interest and involvement. And so this process has been standardized over the years and is a pretty uniform process now. We can see that the deliverables of the Maintenance Working Group are the constituent parts of the Maintenance Review Board report. Each of these groups is composed of representatives from the participating operators, the aircraft manufacturers, and the regulatory authority. But the point to note is that the control of the content of the maintenance is outside of the direct influence of the manufacturer. It's a working group. The manufacturer is present on the working group, but it's independent. It reports not to the manufacturer, it reports to the Industry Steering Committee. So that level of independence is a positive. And it removes, for example, from the manufacturers the possibility that they would lean their maintenance in a way that favoured the operation. So it's a very, very effective way. And as we say, it's 40 years down this journey now. And as a result, aviation has benefited from it massively. Developing the scheduled maintenance tasks for a new aeroplane is long and costly. Consider the 777. The project was begun in 1990. The original MRB document was adopted by the FAA in 1995, just 2 weeks before the aeroplane was certified. And you could look at that and think they just made it. It's not correct, because without that document the aeroplane would not have been certified. So it was actually the completion of it that allowed the certification process. The MPD. The MRB report outlines the initial minimum schedule maintenance inspection requirements to be used in the development of the approved continuous airworthiness maintenance program. The document, the MPD document, contains all the MRB requirements plus mandatory scheduled maintenance requirements that may only be changed with the permission of the applicable airworthiness authority. In general, when we talk about the different types of operator approval that we can have indirect approval and direct approval. If we have indirect approval, we have some possibility of making changes within the maintenance program. And we'll see exactly what we can do with this level of approval. Without this level of approval, all changes have to be made through the regulatory authority. These supplemental inspection tasks are detailed in the Aircraft Certification Maintenance Requirements and Airworthiness Limitation. Typically, in a Boeing, it will be found in Section 9. In an Airbus aircraft, it will be found in Section 5. But it's the same story. It's the Airworthiness Limitation section. And of course, also in this section is the CMR, the Certification Maintenance Requirement. This is a task that is driven not by the MRB process, but by the System Safety Analysis process. The System Safety Analysis process identifies that it's necessary to perform an additional inspection to maintain the integrity, and this additional inspection is called a CMR task. The CMR is intended to detect safety significant latent failures that would, in combination with one or more other specific failures or events, result in a hazardous or catastrophic failure condition. Example of a CMR task: a visual inspection of the elevator tab rod and mechanism every 2,000 flight cycles. There is an example of a CMR task. Because if it was deteriorating, we wouldn't know about it. This is the point. However, something to say about CMR tasks: there are not significant numbers of CMR tasks. And in general, there is a tendency to, if possible, redesign to reduce the number of CMR tasks.